Your God has been listening to you for 15 years, so tell me something, the nurse sneered softly. Is he deaf or just ignoring you? The room went quiet, then slow laughter spread like poison. Every eye turned toward Henry Wallace, a 62-year-old man sitting by the window in a worn hospital chair. His hands were folded, his lips moving in silent prayer. But his legs had not moved in 15 years. A construction accident had taken away his ability to walk, and ever since then, his life had been a cycle of hospitals, therapy, and endless prayers that seemed to go unanswered. The rehabilitation center in rural Texas was known for being strict, but what happened that afternoon was cruel beyond reason. Dr. Mark Sullivan, the respected head physician, walked slowly toward Henry. He was brilliant, confident, and openly mocked anything related to faith. Standing close enough for everyone to hear, he said loudly, "Well, Mr. Wallace, still talking to the ceiling?" A few patients chuckled. A nurse hid a smile behind her hand. Henry opened his eyes calmly. "Yes, sir," he said gently. "I was thanking God for another day." Mark scoffed. "Another day of sitting in a chair? That's what you're thanking him for?" The laughter grew louder. Mark bent closer to Henry's face. "Let's be honest. If your God was real, you'd be walking by now. 15 years, Henry. 15. If medicine couldn't fix you, what makes you think some invisible being will?" Someone from the room shouted, "Maybe God only helps people who matter." More laughter followed. Another voice said, "If prayer worked, hospitals wouldn't exist." The words cut deeper than any blade. Henry's hands shook, his eyes filled with tears, but he said nothing. He simply lowered his head as the humiliation burned into his heart. That evening, a violent storm rolled in. Thunder shook the building while rain slammed against the windows. The lights flickered, then dimmed into emergency mode. Wind screamed outside like something alive. Dr. Sullivan was walking down the hallway when suddenly a loud crash echoed through the corridor. A ceiling beam, weakened by the storm, snapped loose and slammed down onto his legs. His scream filled the building. Nurses rushed toward him as blood spread across the floor. Mark's face turned pale as fear overtook him. "I can't feel my legs," he cried. "I can't move them." Doctors rushed him into emergency care. After examining him, one whispered the words that Mark had once cruelly spoken to Henry: severe nerve trauma. It was unclear if he would ever walk again. Mark lay in his recovery room, shaking, silent, and terrified. Later that night, a nurse wheeled Henry past the open door. Henry stopped and looked inside. There lay the strong man who had mocked him only hours earlier, now broken and helpless. Tears streamed down Mark's face. When Mark saw Henry, shame overwhelmed him. "Henry," he whispered, his voice cracking, "I'm scared. I mocked you. I said horrible things, and now look at me." Henry gently asked the nurse to push him closer. He placed his hand on Mark's arm. "I don't understand why God waited so long to answer me," he said softly, "and I don't know why this happened to you, but I believe He still loves us both."
Mark sobbed openly. "I don't deserve forgiveness." Henry smiled through his tears. "None of us do. That's why we need grace." Then Henry bowed his head. "Lord, I've prayed for 15 years for my own healing, but tonight I ask you to heal him first. Show him that you are real." The room grew still. Suddenly, the heart monitor began beeping faster. Mark gasped. "I feel something," he whispered. His toes twitched. The nurse froze in shock. He tried again, and this time his foot lifted slightly off the bed. Doctors rushed in. Tests were done. Nerve signals were returning at an impossible speed. "This shouldn't be happening," one doctor whispered. "Medically, this makes no sense." Mark broke down crying. "God is real," he said, gripping Henry's hand. "I was so blind." Over the following weeks, Mark's recovery stunned everyone. He slowly began walking again with therapy. The story spread through the rehabilitation center like wildfire. But the greatest miracle was still to come. 3 months later, during a therapy session, Henry suddenly felt warmth rush through his legs, a sensation he had not felt in 15 years. He gasped, "I can feel the floor." Therapists rushed to his side. They helped him stand. His legs trembled violently, but he stood. The room erupted in cheers as tears filled every face. Henry took one step, then another. Across the room, Mark watched with trembling hands and streaming tears. He walked over and hugged Henry tightly. "I mocked your faith," he said, "and it saved me. And now it saved you." Henry smiled softly. "No, God did." From that day on, Mark became a man of prayer. He publicly apologized to every patient he had ever ridiculed. The rehabilitation center even built a small chapel, something he once called foolish. And Henry walked out of that building on his own feet, the same place where he had once been humiliated, becoming the place where his miracle began. Sometimes God doesn't answer immediately, not because he doesn't care, but because he's preparing a moment so powerful it will change more than just one life. The miracle you've waited years for may arrive when you least expect it. Comment yes if you're willing to trust his timing.